What is the only thing standing between you and the life you actually want? I'll give you a hint. It's not your age. It's not your kids leaving. It's not the fact that you don't know what comes next. Today, my guest, Joy Crawford, is going to tell you exactly what it is. Joy is 76 years old. She retired after 40 years of teaching kindergarten, and one ordinary Sunday morning in a church nursery, she watched a toddler call a big, burly truck driver Boompa. And that man lit up like a firecracker. And in that moment, Joy knew exactly what she was put on this earth to do. She had no idea how. She just knew she would. Sound familiar? Stay with us. This is episode 23. This is the only thing stopping you. Joy Crawford on Empty Nest Reinvention. Let's go. This series is called How to Stop Living Through Your Kids and Start Living Your Own Life. And it's great to be here with you. So before we get into it, tell us a little bit about who you are and what you're all about.
My name is Joy. I am a previous kindergarten teacher of 40 years. And after retirement, I retired with an illness. And during that illness, I think my grandbabies helped cure me, so to speak. And one of the things that the Holy Spirit told me was, Joy, I don't know what the reason exactly was, but it was something about you can make 1,000,000 people smile. And I was like, I don't even know 1,000,000 people. I don't even know what to say to 1,000,000 people to make them smile. This world is so crazy. And I was like trying to figure out, one of Moses in the Bible, he was like, you're not talking to me, God, because I can't do that. I'm not,
Yeah.
I'm not the one. Anyways, I was thinking that in my heart. I was like, okay, I gotta do it, but I don't know how I'm gonna do it. And fortunately, I went to church a couple of days later that Sunday. And you know how in church, sometimes you have the duty to keep the babies in the nursery, so you're not in the service. So after the service was over, people came to the gate to pick up their toddlers. And this guy came to the gate, big, tall mountain man. I mean, mustache and hair, and looked like he was a truck driver. And I was like, ooh, I don't wonder who he's coming to get. But anyway, it was like, and this little kid behind me said, whoop-ah, whoop-ah. And he jumped up and ran toward this big guy. This guy swooped him up. He said, Boomba. And I was looking at him like, oh my gosh. He said, yep, I'm Boomba. And I don't drive. So as I left and got in the car with my son picking me up, I said, because this was like 12 years ago when Facebook was just new and I didn't know anything about how to do Facebook. I just knew it was out there. So I said to my son, can you help me make a Facebook page? And then maybe I can collect grandparent names, like what my grandkids call me, because this guy lit up like a firecracker and he was smiling, and I'm supposed to make people smile. And if I can just say, what do your grandkids call you? And they light up like that, I can easily do 1,000,000. So that's how what my grandkids call me came to life.
I love what you said. He lit up like a firecracker.
Oh my gosh, he
Yeah.
really did.
All right. Go ahead and give us your 3 words that describe you.
Oh my goodness. I guess fun. I think I'm fun. I am loving and I am happy.
Those do describe you very well, Joy, and also encompasses your name of Joy.
I just have been having the most wonderful time. And like you were saying, when the kids are grown and leaving, then you're like, what do you do? But that's when the inspiration of you can make 1,000,000 people smile.
What's one movie you could watch over and over again and never get tired of?
With
That.
in fact, I taught kindergarten for 40 years. Every year, my class learned the songs from the Wiz.
Oh, really? How
Because they
fun.
were so inspirational. They was like, believe in yourself, and I can do it. The Scarecrow, the Lion. And then at the end, the whole ending was like, believe in yourself. You can do it. You can do it.
And that yeah, you're putting that into your movement of making 1,000,000 people smile. You're believing in yourself that you can do it.
Oh, absolutely. And
Okay, who's someone in your life, even if it's from a distance, who makes you think, "I want to be more like her"?
I want to be more like Jesus, Mama. I want to be like Mary. My picturing of her was being so young and so accommodating to what God said, just because there was no question. It was, this is the right thing to do. I know it in my heart. And that's what I want to be able to do
Mm.
without questioning it, without even having a doubt in my mind. When I feel like, just like he said, make a million people smile, and I question, oh, I can't do that. I want to be able to feel, as I get older, I do actually feel like I can do it. I can do it. Whatever I put my heart and mind to, I can do that.
Mhm.
And the only thing that stops you from doing is you.
All right, that's perfect. Okay, what's a piece of wisdom that has stayed with you, the kind that you find yourself going back to again and again?
Since I was really young, and even when I had my kids, one of the things that I have been saying all my life is I believe in the power of prayer. So I think if you need something, you want something, you just silently inside your head say your prayers and you do your best.
Okay, very good. We're going to go ahead and go on to the deep dive of this part. And as you know, this is a series of how to stop living through your kids and start living your own life. And so
Right.
we're going to have you help inspire these women that are out there thinking, could I really do it? Could I believe? Do
Yes.
I really believe in myself? Do I know something that lights me up like a firecracker? Right?
Yeah.
And so I wanted you to share some experiences to these women that really will help them, inspire them, to help them know that they can too. If they believe in it, like you said, the only thing that's stopping them is you, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I sometimes I think when women get out there and like you're saying, when kids are out and you're like, okay, what am I gonna do next? You can have a lot of thoughts going through your head, probably of all the things that you could possibly do. But in this day and age, you're like, I don't know computer. I'm not going back to school. You can't just sit here.
So tell us how you felt when you became an empty nester, or in your case, also when you retired from being a kindergarten teacher.
So I felt like I was going to say different. What am I going to do now? So, you know what I did? I found a club that played live music early. So I started going to a club on the beach and they played live blues. And I started going there at 5 o'clock once a week. So that was my fun time. I was like, okay, now this is something entertaining for me because I didn't have to go with a group. It was a small place. They played live music. It was my age group people. So it was fun to just go for a couple of hours and listen to live music. So I did that for me. And then I crochet. So I crocheted prayer shawls for the Florida Breast Cancer Foundation. So those two things I was working with. And then after I finished the crocheting, that's when I started into the what my grandkids call me collecting grandparent names.
I love those things that what you did, like some of the things you did, but tell me how you felt when you became
How
an
I
empty
felt
nester.
was, you know what? Just questioning. I felt questioning. That's what I felt. I
Mm.
felt, what am I going to do? And then I started thinking, what can I do? So that's what you got to do. You got to say, now, what do I like doing?
Mm.
And then how often can I do it? How can I navigate what I like doing? I see a lot of time on YouTube, there's people showing you how to crochet. If you like cooking, you can go on, what is it, TikTok, and you can have your own little cooking show. And actually, on TikTok, you can have your own show
Ah,
just demonstrating what you like doing. Just click, and if you like sewing, you can start sewing, and people click onto your page to watch what you're making. You can develop that hobby. That
yeah,
becomes your joy. When the kids are gone, you'll find something that you like because now you can do what you want. There's
yeah.
no I gotta do this, I gotta do this, I gotta do this. No, there's no more I gotta for the family. The gotta now is I gotta do this for me. And that's
Yep.
what you're gonna do. You're gonna find what you like and say, I like doing this and I'm gonna do this.
Okay, tell us, when did you first notice that your whole life had quietly been about your kids and that somewhere along the way you had disappeared?
I noticed it, but I disappeared when my first child was born because my
Mhm.
whole world was around my first child. And then 3 years later, I had another one. And 3 years later, I had another one. So I had three boys, and my whole world was all about my kids. I still, I'm trying to think of what did I do for joy. I think my first thing was to make sure the kids were all right and everything was in place for them. And then I might read a book. It may take me a long time to read that book, but I
Yeah.
started A couple of times I started things. I didn't always get to finish them, but I tried once in a while. But my whole world centered around making sure they had the right thing, making sure they got to their lessons, making sure they
Of
got the right
course.
clothes, making sure, and everything was a time thing. When you have, how many kids do you have?
I have 4. It's easy for moms to do that, to lose yourself in your children, and
You,
we choose that and we want that, but sometimes we lose ourselves. And so what did you want for yourself, not for your family, that you had stopped letting yourself think about during this time that you'd lost yourself?
I think I just wanted that. I wanted the few minutes to just be me. Let me sit in the rocking chair and close my eyes and not feel or hear somebody calling me. Can I have some time to myself? And I joined an organization, and that was my once a month we had a meeting and we would have lunch. So once a month I did have joy time.
What inspired you to have that once a month outing and to actually follow through with that?
Felt that feeling that I needed to do that. I don't know if I was inspired by other women that I have seen doing that, saying, "Girl, you need to do something for you now." Okay, girl, we're going to that jazz club. I would say, "Girl, I'm going to the jazz club." "Joy, you go to the jazz club by yourself?" And I said, "Yep, and I really like it. You ought to try it." And I've had several people to do that. So one of the things you feel, what can I do? Find what you can do and do it. Just say, what can I do? But once you do that, you find the answer. What can I do? There's 5 things you can do. Pick one of them and actually do it. If you gotta do it, you'll see if it works. But
Right.
once you realize it works, you'll keep doing it.
And that's what I try to inspire my women in my program to do, is to figure out what that is that gives them that spark, that
Right.
firecracker, and then to do it. And sometimes we just need those tools and some mindset work and some help to actually figure that
Right.
out, because it's been so long that you've put yourself on the shelf, that you thought about your family only and things like that. So, okay,
Yeah.
what finally cracked it open for you? What made you decide that your life deserved your attention too?
Really think once you get that spirit in you and you do it for you and you discover that I can do this,
Yeah.
feels good. I can
Yeah.
do this. This feels good.
I love
I
that.
can
That
do
discover
this.
word. Yeah.
This feels good. And you feel it. You feel it just like you feel that feeling of becoming a grandmother. It's a new feeling that this is a new me and I am almost another person. And this is what I'm going to do. You'll be inspired to say, oh, I'm glad I took that step.
Take that step. I love that. Yep. Okay. Tell me, what does life actually look like now that you're living for yourself, not just through your kids?
It's wonderful. Like I said, I'm doing what my grandkids call me. I'm celebrating being a grandma. I'm helping others celebrate being a grandma. I still acknowledge my kids. They still exist.
Of course.
Since I've been out there and I've been able to do things once they're gone, I know I can do stuff for me now. I know I can do it now. So
Yeah.
I can choose something else and say, I know I can do it. What am I going to do next? Don't
Right.
have to think it's hard now because you've done it. You
Right.
stepped out. Once you stepped out, you were successful to yourself. So since you were successful to yourself, then you say, okay, what am I going to do next? And it's not as hard. It's not as hard as it was at the beginning when you're like, oh my, what am I going to do? Well, you're like, oh, I've done this. I think I'll try this. I think I'll
Yeah.
go on a couple of trips. Before, I wouldn't go to a club by myself. Before, I wouldn't go on a plane by myself. Before, I wouldn't go to a show by myself. There were things you wouldn't do by yourself. Now you have the independence. The independence is very self assured that you
Mhm.
can do it. You don't doubt yourself as much. You give yourself permission. You give yourself permission.
Mhm.
I can do that. And once you've done it, you can keep doing it. You're going to do something else. Okay, up. And the next thing you do, your friends will be saying, girl, you're doing too much.
I love that, but it all started with that, taking that first step.
That's all you
And
do.
it's an and thing. It's, you can love your children and your grandchildren, and you can take those steps for yourself. And the symbiotic, they work together. The more you do that for yourself and have that self-assurance, that confidence, then the
Right.
better grandma, the better mother you'll be,
That
and they can be
absolutely.
separate. And I love that. Okay, last question. What would you say to the woman listening who loves her kids fiercely and is starting to wonder if there's more for her too?
Once you take that one step out to do something for yourself, then you become more confident in yourself. So once you've done that and then you'll take another step. But the first step that you take, stepping out in confidence of what you're doing, I am doing this for me, girl. Let me tell you, this is for me. And you feel so confident. I'm a bad woman.
Yeah.
And you feel that confidence, but you have to feel it. You have to feel that confidence. And you don't feel like, I want to sit down. I don't want to do nothing. What am I going to do with myself? No, you don't feel that. You feel like, oh, what am I going to do with me? You got to have that energy inside your body. You don't have to be all crazy like me, but you just have to have that feeling inside that I'm going to do this. And when you remember something that you used to like to do, nowadays, like I was saying, there's so much out there. There was a painting class that I went to at a community center. It was so fun. So you can go to community centers and they have classes coming out of the zoo of everything that you can take. And you go there and you meet people that are just like you, that were at sitting home saying, let me go try it. And they tried it and they liked it. That's what you do. You try it and you find out, I like it.
I love how you said, girl, take the first step. And what I tell people this podcast is take the first step, come to a call with me. It helps them to jumpstart their next chapter because it's worth it. You're worth it, right?
Absolutely.
I love it. All right, Joy, is there anything else you want to leave listeners with before we close out today? Can they find you if they want more of what we've got here?
I'm at what my grandkids call me, Facebook, and I'm also on Instagram and TikTok.
Okay, great. Anything you want to leave listeners with today?
Just smile, enjoy life, do what you like doing. That's what I want to leave people with. Do what you like. The world is big. There's a whole bunch of stuff going on, but you are you. So take care of you, take care of your family, and you can't help but smile.
I love that. And leave you with a smile and a lot of joy, right?
Absolutely.
All right.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much for being here today. It's been a joy.
Oh my goodness. Thank you. I loved it. I loved it.
Joy Crawford, everyone. I just love her. Isn't she just a joy? I want you to sit with something that she said today. The only thing stopping you is you. Not your age, not your kids being gone, not the fact that you don't have it all figured out yet. Just you. And the beautiful thing about that, you can change it, starting right now. Also, listen, part 2 of Joy is coming next week, and you are going to want to be there for it. We go somewhere in that conversation that I did not see coming, and it is so good. Here's what I want you to do right now. If this conversation meant something to you, if you heard something today that made you think, yes, that's me, or I want that, then come back for more. Follow or subscribe to Create Your Best Empty Nest wherever you listen or are watching right now. Every single week, we are having conversations just like this one. Honest, real, and all about you and your next chapter. You deserve that. So follow the show, share the podcast with another woman in your life who needs to hear it, and I will see you right back here next week with more joy. Because girl, your next chapter is waiting.
If this felt familiar, you're not alone. I created a short quiz, Who Am I, after the kids leave. It helps you name what actually is going on for you in this season and what you might need next. You'll find the link in the description. And if you want more conversations like this, you could subscribe. I'm here every week.